Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's explainer, where we are going to explore an incredibly powerful concept called the inside-out framework. You see, building a highly specialized, successful business doesn't actually start by guessing what the market wants. It starts by looking in the mirror. Today, we're going on a journey together, going all the way from conducting an internal self-audit to ultimately securing external market funding.
Here is our roadmap. 6 clear steps. Audit your core skills. Find your profitable niche. Love the problem. Validate before you build. Map your business model. And lastly, fund and support your venture. These 6 steps are going to guide you from becoming a recognized specialist all the way to launching a fully funded business.
Phase 1, audit your core skills. As I said, you absolutely have to look inward before you look out at the market.
So I want to pose this question directly to you. What industries do you naturally understand? It sounds simple, but sustainable business growth requires a solid foundation of genuine personal interest. If you're going to pour your time and effort into building a venture, you really need to uncover the environments and markets where your brain naturally thrives.
To help pinpoint this, we can look at Professor Melissa Cardin's research on entrepreneurial passion. She essentially breaks down how to find where your genuine interests lie. You want to look for industries that naturally energize you. Ask yourself, what trends do you effortlessly stay current with? What complex challenges do you actually enjoy solving? It also makes a huge difference when these things align with your own life and cultural background. The big takeaway here? Deeply understanding your own psychological profile and your passions is exactly what prevents founder burnout.
Moving on to Phase 2, find your profitable niche. This is where we shift focus to external market positioning.
When you start positioning yourself, you have to remember this golden rule. Trying to serve everyone means serving no one well. Honestly, the generalist approach is the enemy of profitability. When you're a generalist, you're competing with thousands of others, which inevitably leads to a massive failure rate and these brutal race-to-the-bottom price wars. But look at the specialist. By narrowing your focus, say specializing in SEO for independent jewelry designers or maybe luxury yacht manufacturers, you drastically reduce your competition and you immediately unlock premium pricing power.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is this 2 to 3 times multiplier. Research consistently shows that specialists command 2 to 3 times higher rates than generalists who possess the exact same technical skills. By simply defining your niche, your specialized knowledge becomes absolutely invaluable to clients who are totally frustrated by general agencies that just don't get their specific business models.
All right, Phase 3, love the problem, not solution. This is a crucial mindset shift.
This phase introduces the core philosophy of the lean startup methodology. Fall in love with the problem, not the solution. Just take a second to let that sink in. It is completely human nature to fall in love with our own answers, but doing that creates what is known as the Einstalling effect, where we stubbornly fixate on our very first idea, and we end up either ignoring or just explaining away any pushback from our customers. To beat that, you have to obsess over the problem you're solving rather than getting attached to the very first widget you build.
To make sure you stay focused on the problem, you need to draft a North Star vision statement. Ask yourself, what does the world actually look like after you've solved this specific problem? A pithy vision statement, something like, no passenger will wait more than 5 minutes to get through security, that keeps you honest. It ensures you don't get overly attached to one specific product idea, and it gives you the freedom to test multiple solutions to reach that ultimate goal.
Phase 4, validate before you build. Now it's time to test things out.
This is the crucial phase where we take our beloved problem and test it against the harsh, unfiltered reality of the market. You really don't want to waste resources building something nobody wants. So, market validation is a brisk, systematic 5-step process. First, write down your assumptions. Second, assess the market size. Think about how Casper mattresses calculated the exact percentage of the foam mattress market they could capture. Third, research search volume to gauge real demand. Fourth, conduct interviews. And fifth, run alpha and beta tests on your actual product. This takes you out of your own head and gives you concrete market data.
Now, when you get to step 4, the interviews, there are strict rules here. You must target actual potential customers. And whatever you do, do not ask your family or friends. Seriously, they will just tell you what you want to hear. You need to discover their underlying motivations, discuss the products they are currently using, and definitively validate their willingness to pay. Interviewing the right people is literally the only way to gain deep customer empathy and truly validate if your niche is going to be profitable.
Which brings us to Phase 5, map your business model.
Once your niche and your problem are validated, it's time to map out your execution. And this brilliantly illustrates how to do that using the Lean Canvas, adapted by Ash Moria.
Look, instead of a bulky 50-page business plan that nobody is ever going to read, this method visualizes everything on a single page. You map out your unique value propositions, your target customer segments, your channels, your revenue streams, and your cost structures. It's an incredibly effective way to see your entire business model at a glance.
However, how you actually fill out that canvas is completely dependent on your core mission. Look at the contrast here between traditional and social entrepreneurship. In a traditional model, the profit belongs to the owner and pricing is defined to cover costs and make a margin. But if you're a social entrepreneur, your primary goal is community impact or solving environmental issues. Therefore, your profit is reinvested right back into the community's well-being and you sell your products at an accessible, affordable price. Your map changes entirely based on your impact goals.
And finally, Phase 6, fund and support your venture. So you have your validated idea and your mapped out model. Now you need to build the engine. There are some incredibly diverse avenues available for capital. You can bootstrap by self-funding. You can leverage crowdfunding platforms like Kickstarter or Indiegogo to pre-sell to customers. You might bring on angel investors who take equity but offer invaluable mentorship, or target venture capital for high-growth scaling. And hey, don't forget public grants. Public authorities and EU operational programs can be massive strategic allies, particularly if you're launching socially innovative initiatives.
But remember, securing this funding requires an absolutely airtight elevator pitch, or a lift pitch, lasting just 2 to 3 minutes. You need to systematically introduce yourself, present the problem, explain the customer need, showcase your specific offering, name your product, and finally, connect by handing over your details. A perfectly structured pitch proves to everyone that you understand your business inside and out.
Well, we've traveled the whole path today, from looking in a mirror to pitching a validated, specialized business model to investors. You now have the complete inside-out framework at your fingertips. But I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Are you ready to actually audit your skills and take your first step away from being a generalist? The market clearly rewards specialists, so start auditing, find your passion, and let's get building.